What's happening, my fellow geeks on the internet? I'm TGun coming at you with another Transformers Studio Series custom. This time I've got my Volkswagen Beetle Bumblebee version 2 based on how it looks in the Transformers Bumblebee film. The reason why I wanted to do a version 2 is because I wasn't 100% happy looking back at my version 1, which had the NATO black dry brushing. It just looked a little bit weird over time, and after customizing this, I really think this guy looks a whole lot better than my first one. The first one, I won't be able to compare with. I'll probably show you some photos throughout this showcase, but I've actually started turning him into the Wasp. So basically all I need to do is just get rid of the last bit of yellow, and then I've got Wasp. So yeah, that's basically what's happened in the version 1. So yeah, anyway, I just wanted to have another crack at this guy because I knew I could do better, and I actually think this is like way better than the first one. I really love how this turned out. I've tried to make it more screen accurate, as well as putting a bit of my own design into the weathering. So if we have a look at the figure here, so he's just in his vehicle mode at the moment, and what I did was I didn't touch any of the yellow paint, and because I was out of yellow paint, and the yellow paint that I use is very different to this version of paint. So what I did was I used a dark tan Tamiya paint, otherwise called Flat Earth, and I dry brushed that all over the figure, robot and vehicle mode. So that's all this. So it kind of appears a little bit brown, but it's just a dark tan, which I just then painted on and then used a rag and wiped it off or dabbed it off, or I think mostly I just wiped it off. So I'll paint on and then wiped it off, then there was a little bit of dry brushing mixed with it. So some of it was dry brushed, like I think the doors were a bit dry brushed, and some of it was I just fully painted it on and then just wiped it off with a rag to give this effect. Now, and then I also did the same thing for the wheels, just to make them look all dirty and they've been driving around. And then one thing I did do is I did add metallic grey for both of the bumpers in the front and the back, and also on the wheels, just because I thought the metallic grey would look a lot better than the crappy grey colour that this originally had. And then something that I decided to do as part of the weathering, oh, and I also painted the Volkswagen and then the little stripe thing down there. One thing I decided to do was actually dry brush some metallic grey throughout to make it look like some of the paint's chipped. And I just really love how this looks. So you can see I've got some metallic grey there. I've got some down like on the front here, above the lights, on the door hinge, on top of the door, on the roof. You can see some of the metallic grey there and there. Around the sections of the wheels, some on the actual step there. On the other side, got it going around there, as well as on the bottom. Yeah, so he doesn't really have that in the movie. It's just I wanted to add that as an extra little bit of detail, as I thought it would look cool, and to be honest, I actually think it really does look cool. Then the windows, I've also added some of the dark tan, as well, to make the windows look all dirty. So yeah, I really love how this looks. Looks all dirty and worn and battle damaged and stuff. So yeah, anyway, I guess now let's get to transformation. So basically what you want to do is you want to come and open up the door. So it's like that, and then you want to separate the top like so. You want to bring down the legs and rotate the waist around. And you just want to bring these sections up like so, and then extend out the legs, slide the foot in place. Like so. Then you want to come up to the wheels, fold these out. You're going to bring out the arms. Like so. And then you can it's better to do it by the door, and you can guide it, but then you just bring these down and have the chest into place. Like so. then with the back, you just want to fold this up and then fold it up again. And this tab will go underneath here. Remember at first I thought that was where it went, but nah. Like for the version 1, that's where I thought it went when I first got him. So you gotta fix that up. Like so. And then you just wanna fold these down. Like so. Fold these back. And then I usually angle the doors, as in the Bay films. Like, he doesn't have that in the film, and you can take it off if you want. Some people have. You do usually take off the doors and take out the pin for this, but I just leave it in. And, because I'd always imagine Bumblebee with the doors on at the back. But yeah, so, you just do that. You gotta try and angle his feet correctly, because it can be a pain to stand him. And there we have Bumblebee in his robot mode. So yeah, there we have Bumblebee in his robot mode, and I really love how this looks. And I also gave the robot mode a similar treatment, like with all the yellow bits. I did the dark tan dry brushing, or like the brushing on and wiping it off, like the same weathering technique, as well as adding the metallic grey on top of that, just to make it look like paint's chipped and the under robotic parts are showing through. So taking a look at his head, what you can see here is I actually repainted the silver that's on the face to this metallic grey colour, just to make it stand out, or just to make it match the rest of it. And then I also went around and painted the metallic grey on the top here, as well as this little line above the Autobot symbol. And then I also did some of the weathering here as well. One thing I did do is I cut off the section that was under here. So if I actually bring in Wasp, because I haven't done it on here yet, but if I remove the head, you can see that there's this section that's underneath, which I think actually holds the battle mask in vehicle mode as a way of storage. I cut that off just that way the head has a bit more movement and it's not really locked in one place, so I can now tilt the head back a little bit. So it just gives that extra bit of articulation, which is one thing I really wanted to do. I also did some dry brushing on the side, on the ears here, and then up here as well. The one thing I made sure to do this time is with repainting the face here, I really wanted to leave that yellow bit on the bottom, as that is accurate to the film. When I did the version 1, and here's the version 1 faceplate, I did paint it over in silver because I thought it was inaccurate, but then after looking at more photos, I noticed that that's inaccurate. So yeah, I actually painted that in a chrome silver, and it looks alright, but I just think the metallic grey looks a lot better. And you can just see the version 1 and 2, so you can see the weathering on the version 2 looks so much better than the version 1. I think the silver actually came off, but then I did a lot of dry brushing in this black colour, whereas with this time I used a dark tan, which looks a whole lot better. And then I also added a bit of the metallic grey, which just gives it a little bit more of a pop, I guess. So yeah, so I just put his head back on like so, and then yeah, on the front of the chest here I did do the same, and then I did add metallic grey all on the top here, so I just thought it would stand out a lot better. Also did some of the metallic grey dry brushing there, then I also added the flat earth. And then for all the robotic parts, I added the metallic grey. Metallic grey is just a really great colour for the robotic parts of these figures. So yeah, I did add it all the way around and stuff on his legs. And you can just see all the weathering that I added. So just some of the metallic grey. And then the weathering on the back. I did actually paint these, whereas with the version 1 I left these black. So I did actually want to come back and repaint them. And there's just a bit of a scratch on here, which I'll have to fix up. And I also added some more on there. See, on the arms I actually painted this bit as well. I didn't add the yellow because, as I said, I don't have any yellow paint and it doesn't really match this plastic, so I just did paint the whole hands in this metallic grey, which is just fine. Then I also made sure to paint these bits as well. And I also added painted these as well, added some of the weathering on the shoulders. And I think it was because I was painting these parts that it gave me the idea to add the metallic grey all throughout, as weathering. And you can see it down there. I did change this silver to the metallic grey as well, so it just matches the figure a lot better. And I also painted around on the feet as well. just to add it all together. So yeah, I really love how this guy looks with all the weathering and stuff. And just to show you, here is how Bumblebee looks without the doors. You know, if I do display him like this, one thing I will do is I will keep this back section on, because otherwise it looks really weird having these door sections and these back sections just sticking out. So this doesn't really bug me too much, unless I pop out the pin and just lay this bit just against the back like so, like that, which just gives a bit more to the figure. Then at the moment it's just fine. I'll probably do something like that with Cliff Jumper, but it's just with, like I said before, with Bumblebee, I actually prefer him with the wings, because the first Transformers thing I ever saw was the Bay films, and just whenever I picture Bumblebee, I just picture these door wings on the back of him. So, alright, so there we are. His doors are back on, but yeah. This guy's really cool. I love the this design of Bumblebee. But yeah, so now for his accessories, I do have his battle mask, so I will take that off, and that actually does look a bit creepy, so I'll be very quick in showing the battle mask up close. But yeah, so I did the same weathering. I didn't paint the Autobot symbol, as it just would have turned out like crap, so I just decided to leave it blank, and it's alright. I also added this metallic grey up here, and the similar sort of weathering as it did for up here as well, just to try and make it match a little bit more. And then I also added some more weathering down on the battle mask with the light, with the dark tan and some of the metallic grey. So it just looks really cool. There's that. And then here is his blade. So I, did the weathering and then added metallic grey, the actual blade. So I didn't add any metallic grey on the open bits here, but it's fine, because, if I decide to change arm, it's just going to be inconsistent, so I decided to leave the metallic grey off of this bit here. And then here's something I've tried to do as I drop it. Okay, so with his original blaster, I just got the Wasp's version. It doesn't look 100% accurate because of how skinny it is, so I did try and sculpt onto it with some Procreate. What I did was I grabbed one of these Lego cylinder pieces. I actually cut back all those little the smaller parts, and then glued this on the end here, which in doing so I grabbed the wrong glue and didn't realize, and it was a liquid glue, and so now I have a bit of trouble actually sticking it on the arm. But I glued that on, and then I sculpted around it, and it's not accurate by any means, like it's not 100% accurate, but I just wanted it to be a little bit bigger and stuff. So when I get the Cliff Jumper in, I may try and do a version 2, which doesn't look as ridiculous as this. I mean, it's not too bad, but it's not accurate. So I was just trying something. So I know when I get the Cliff Jumper base in, like the other Bumblebee, to make the Cliff Jumper, I don't know if I'm going to attempt it again or just leave the gun and just weather it up. But here is how it looks with this. So I know, I hope some third-party company does actually come out with a more accurate design for the blaster, like on Shapeways or something. But yeah, just stand, will ya? But yeah, so that's how the the gun looks. Lengthwise, it looks pretty good. I like it being a little bit longer, but just these parts just did not turn out the way I wanted to. So yeah, I'm not the best sculptor in the world, but yeah, I don't know if I'm going to try a version 2 of this or not, but I'm just going to get rid of this at the moment. Yeah, let me know what you think of this plasma cannon down below. I'm not 100% happy, like I said, but, it's the best I could do. Now, I guess I'll just bring in this Bumblebee. This is the Studio Series #1, and yeah, so I just took off the doors, and I will paint up the robotic parts and have this as the Bumblebee version, as I do want to get the clunker Bumblebee, which I'll turn into the first Transformer movie Bumblebee with all the weathering. So yeah, I just think that'll look pretty cool on display. So I did take off the doors, as you can see. So, you know, it looks a little bit more accurate. And hey, maybe I might turn this into a cliff jumper, who knows. But actually, what would you guys rather? Would you like me to turn this into a cliff jumper, or leave it as the 1977 Bumblebee from the end of the Transformers Bumblebee film? So let me know, what would you guys rather see? But yeah, so that's how they look together. It looks pretty good. And then again, he's not finished, and it'll be better once this guy is finished. Here he is next to Wasp. So yeah, he's mostly finished. All I need to do is just you know, paint over these yellow showing bits, and then he's done. But like, most of it is done, so yeah. And just for the hell of it, I'm gonna bring in my other 3 custom Transformers figures, if I can get this guy to stand. Here he is next to Jazz. See how they look together. I think Jazz is just a little bit taller, so yeah. And here he is next to Ratchet. And in my last video, bring in Ironhide. And I'll bring Jazz back in, so that actually looks pretty cool. I like how that looks, actually. But yeah, so that's how they look together. Again, I am going to get Clunker Bumblebee and customize that as the first movie Bumblebee for when Sam first gets him, because he'll be all weathered up. And then I may either turn this into, you know, the Bumblebee from the end of Transformers Bumblebee, so what he turns into at the end of the movie, or I might turn him into Cliff Jumper. Let me know what would you prefer down below. So yeah, but other than that, I think that's about it. Thank you guys for watching this showcase of this version 2 of the Volkswagen Beetle Bumblebee, based out of the Transformers Bumblebee. Jeez, that's a mouthful. But yeah, let me know what you think of this figure down below in the comments, because I will really appreciate it. I actually really love this custom. He's probably not my favorite. It's probably like my second favorite, just after Ironhide. Still love that guy. But yeah, I just really love how he looks. But yeah, so let me know below. I will probably fix up this cannon, like either make a new one or just leave it. This was just something I was just trying out, and you know, it's gonna fail before you succeed, I guess. But yeah, I'm not 100% happy with that. But yeah, so I will finish up Wasp soon. Like I said, all I need to do is paint over those yellow bits that are still showing. And then let me know if I should turn this into Cliff Jumper or just paint the robotic parts. I'm not 100% sure what I should do with that yet, but I will figure that out. But yeah, so again, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you check out my customs Instagram account down below, as you know, it really mean a lot in that, and you can see more of these customs and stuff. So yeah, but other than that, there's really not much to say. I said most of like the stuff of what's coming in this video, because I actually filmed this Bumblebee showcase on the same day, because I actually painted this in the same day. So you know, this only took about a day. Ratchet took about a day. Ironhide took about a day. Jazz took a few days, and then Wasp I'm still working on. You know, it's basically taking me a day or two just to paint up all of that, and then I still have to do a little bit more. So Wasp and Jazz are the longest ones because they're full repaints. But yeah, but anyway, again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Alright, bye.